Hello, Googleization Nation. Welcome to Better Leaders, Better Workplaces, a GGG Unleashed podcast with thought leader Vivian Blade. In each of Vivian's episodes, we'll cover the latest trends and emerging practices around creating resilient workplaces. Let's begin.
It's up to employees to manage their own well-being. All we need to do as an employer is include some wellness services in our benefits package. True or false? When it comes to employee well-being, what is in your best interest as an employer? We'll explore the answer to this question in this episode. Hello and welcome back to GGG Unleashed, Better Leaders, Better Workplaces. I'm Vivian Blade, President and CEO of Experts in Growth Leadership Consulting and a recognized leadership and resilience thought leader. On this podcast, you'll get the latest insights and proven strategies to help you solve those pressing turnover, burnout, and workplace culture challenges your company is struggling with right now. So if you're a business or an HR leader, you don't want to miss an episode. A resilient, thriving organization can only be possible when employee well-being and resilience are high. When this is the case, employees are equipped to adapt well and they can contribute positively to their organizations, even as this business environment continues to evolve. The problem is there are significant gaps. According to Great Place to Work, just 16% of U.S. workers are in a high state of well-being. We've got some work to do. Employers are often short-sighted in the resources they make available. And a recent survey by Deloitte on workplace well-being found that more than 2/3 of employees did not use the full value of the well-being resources their organizations offered, because accessing those programs was either too time-consuming, maybe confusing, or cumbersome. And we know there's still a stigma attached. My guest today helps organizations solve all that. Annetta Hunter is the CEO, founder, and Chief Wellness Officer of WellNow Connect, a wellness platform, and WellNow Consultants, a corporate wellness company, offering employee wellness coaching by identifying key issues, creating a custom solution, and obtaining the desired results for stress-free, engaged, and productive employees. Thank you for joining us, Annetta.
Thank you for having me, Vivian. I'm very happy to be here.
Great. So good to have you. Well, as we kick off our time together, tell us a little bit about yourself and your company, WellNow Consultants.
Well, my background is in, ironically, architecture and design. However, my second love was psychology. So in the first half of my career life, I chose to do design and so forth. But then the second half, I dove right into psychology and helping people. And at that time, life coaching became a big thing. So I decided to really dive into that and really develop myself. I have become a minister of holistic life counseling, getting a doctorate in that, as well as a minister, also certified corporate wellness coach and author, speaker, you name it. Total volunteer for a million things. So my company, however, came about because I noticed there was a trend in the office where employees, when they were stressing out, started to go on stress disability, which I didn't even know was a thing, but it became more prevalent as time went on in this specific company. So ultimately, because one person leaves, then that dominoes to the next person's workload. And it just goes on and on and on, stressing out the whole crew, so to speak. So I noticed that I was becoming stressed at the time because I was also dealing with a PTSD situation from my mother's cancer, breast cancer years ago, that I guess I had never dealt with. But because of the stress I was experiencing at work, it kicked it off. So I ended up going on stress disability. And during that time, I used it to also learn more about it and understand exactly what is going on in the corporate world. And I realized that we need to have something in place. There's a gap in the workplace for everyday workers who are experiencing stress. So I created my company that would address the mental well-being issues in the workplace.
Awesome. Your background is perfect for that. And you're recognizing the need and being able to fill that is something that is so needed in this environment, especially today. Well, I want to go back to my opening question for a minute, and I'm curious how you would respond to that. Is employee well-being only up to the employee and what that best interest of the employer, what is that best interest for them?
I think if employers really take this topic on, they will find that they're always focused on the bottom line, but their bottom line is greatly affected by their employees' mental well-being. If the employees are not focused on their job, if they are distracted, if they are what is called the presenteeism issue is going on, where they're not there doing their work, their mind is somewhere else, they may have stuff going on at home, they may be stressed out on the job, not getting along with their boss, so many different issues are taking place. If the employer realized how important that was to make sure their employees had a very accepting mental well-being program, that would promote all of the employees to feel very engaged, as well as give their best to that employer because they would know that they cared. And that's the big thing. It's a hurdle that I cross with a lot of companies because it's more or less the first thing on the chopping block when there's budget cuts and, doing anything in that way is more of a frivolous thing. However, it's my goal to make sure that it is one of the mainstay items on the budget because it affects everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is a shared responsibility here. Yes, it is not just on the employee alone. Well, you've been on a mission to improve worksite wellness, which is evident by telling us about your background and your company. You've also served as president of the Worksite Wellness Council. Mm-hmm. So how are Well Now and the council working with organizations to help improve employee well-being? What is it that employers should really be focused on?
Well, one of the big things I think with Worksite Wellness, we want to engage with companies to find out exactly where they are and make sure that we are addressing those issues in our meetings monthly. We cut a monthly conversation because we want to make sure there's the give and take between those attending and those who are speaking so that we have good dialogue going and we can really get the information we need as a committee and a council to address whatever issues that are going on in the community, in the workplace. So that's very key. As president for me this year, one of my driving tenets is making sure that we reach out to people who don't know anything about us. There's so many companies that know nothing about workplace wellness. Well, they may know a little, but not a lot. And then they can also come to our meetings and find out more and get engaged. We are going to expand our website to include resources so that they have a really good platform in order to access community area wide mental resources, mental health workers, therapists, anything. We have so many people in the community that do a lot. I just was at one of our conversations the other day where we had someone come in to do chair massages. And we also did some meditation and some yoga. And those little things that you can do right at your desk, it's amazing how you can really ground yourself just with about 5 minutes of mental reflection. So I think it's going to be one of my things that we grow and become more widely known in the community.
Yeah. And I think you're right. Many organizations know a little bit, don't know about a lot of the resources they have available, like the Worksite Wellness Council. So that's a great resource. Well, you recently launched a service called Well Now Connect. And tell us a little bit about that service and how employers and individuals can benefit from this network.
Well, I am super excited about this. I have been on a platform myself, and that platform, I gain clients from it for coaching, hypnotherapy, life coaching, relationship coaching. But I realized that platform also was really catering to plumbers and other people in that area, not necessarily focusing on what the well-being area and wellness area was. So I felt like there needed to be a platform in every state, in every town, to know who is your go-to for your well-being and your wellness resource. So I created this platform so that there are people in your community, in your town, that you can say, oh, I know there's a salt cave. I didn't even know that existed. There is this wellness pharmacy. There is, so many different businesses that have been started, that people just may not have a clue about. So that's one area. The other thing about the wellness, Wellnow Connect, is that anyone who is also a provider, a wellness provider, service in the service industry for wellness, can have a posting, a listing on the site as well to let people know they are there. And I also want collaboration between those who are in the listing, because if we have someone who has a healthy store where they have food items that they have set up, where they are having people come in and take the food and they're losing weight, there may be a therapist that helps those who try to lose weight can refer to that person. So there's a nice cross business kind of thing going on the site as well, which I really am excited about, because it is a community first and foremost. I want it to be a community of wellness for every town that it may be in, and, have it to be the mainstay for those who are looking for a healthy way of living, whether it's a restaurant that's healthy choices, whether it's just whatever service business. Hemp, 502 Hemp is one of my clients, the Salt Cave, Louisville Salt Cave, just people that are wonderful in the community, but some people may not know anything about them, but they can find everybody there in this one place. So that's what I love about it.
Good. Excellent. So how do people get access to Wellnow Connect? How do they find this resource?
Well, if they go on wellnowconnect.com, it will take you right to the site. They can join for free and be a part of the community so that they get updates and different activities and events that are going on in the community that we are made aware of by all of our members. And then anyone who wants to join and become a provider, they can join and set up their listing right there very easily. So wellnowconnect.com.
Good. So it sounds like it's an easy resource for employers and employees or individuals to be able to find those resources and take advantage of it.
Exactly. And
Good.
For employers specifically, I set the site up so that there is a specific employer login. So if an employer wants to have access, say they're a small business that really doesn't have a major big budget for doing anything in the wellness arena, they can have their employees log in under a private login, password, and so forth, so that they have more access to other things geared directly to corporate wellness, so that, they have a little bit more of a plethora of different services and different things geared specifically to workplace wellness. So that's
good. Well, as we close, what are 2 or 3 parting thoughts or strategies, tips maybe, that might be helpful for business and HR leaders as they are trying to improve employee well-being in their organizations?
Well, one thing I think that's very important is listen to your employees and engage with them. One of the biggest things about my business is that I become the go-between between HR. I'm the right-hand partner of theirs, as well as a partner to the employees. So I become that conduit to the employer to let them know what I'm hearing from the employees so that they can better prepare what they need to do for their employees to make them happier, healthier, and more balanced in the workplace. So I would say make sure that you implement something that will give your employees that feeling that they are very valued and their mental well-being is cherished, because it's a value add to their budget, believe me, to have that. So
yeah, there's certainly a return on investment and a strong return on investment.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Well, Annetta, you've given us so much to think about today. I wish we could go on, and I really appreciate you being here. How can people learn more about Wellnow Connect, and what's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Yes, well, probably I would say wellnowconnect.com is the great link to me as well, because I have a listing on there too. I also have my Annetta, Hunter at wellnowconsultants.com is my email. They can contact me there or call me at 502-416-2665 and get a consult about corporate wellness programs.
Excellent. Well, we'll have Annetta's contact information and a link to Well Now Connect in the show notes, so you can find that there. I also asked Annetta to join you for a fireside chat so we can go deeper on this topic. Make sure you bring your questions, and you can find the details and a link to register in the show notes. Are you offering the employee well-being resources that you should? Is it easy for employees to utilize them? Reach out to Annetta. She can help you get this right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I work with organizations to build better leaders and better workplaces. Let's work together to enhance yours. And connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm always sharing resources and generating conversations about the topics we talk about on this podcast. I'd love to hear from you. If you're ready to elevate your leadership or would like to bring an inspiring message to your conference or corporate event, let's have a conversation. I'm here to help.
Thank you for tuning in and learning how to develop better leaders and better workplaces. We'll be back next month with Vivian for another episode. But until then, you can access a set of Vivian's resources by visiting her website, vivianblade.com. And remember, don't let the shift hit your plans.